Okay, so before I start today's video, I want to say this for the record. This is going to be an extremely long video with some fantastic chock full information. I'm going to drop some gems in this video, so I really do appreciate it if you listen to this video from beginning to end. Secondly, please don't comment until you listen to the whole video. Because sometimes you guys go into the comment section. The first thing that triggers you, you go in the comment section, you comment about it, but you didn't listen to the whole entire video that I already covered the answer the question you're going to ask me. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So a report came out that Undisputed ratings are struggling. I'm going to say the word struggling. A lot of people saying they're disastrous. The people are gravitating to, is there going to be a future for Skip Bayless at Fox Sports 1? Is it going to be another season of Undisputed? A lot of things. And we covered these things on this channel. I also covered the solution, what Fox Sports 1 should do with Undisputed. Now, to be fair, it's not a network problem. Even though Fox Sports 1 is not in a lot of households, still, for Fox Sports 1 not to be in a lot of households, the other shows are seeing their ratings go up. Okay, so Speak, their numbers are good. Their numbers are solid. The Herd's numbers are solid. Now the Carson show, they said there's a bit of improvement with the Carson show, particularly with the recent changes and announcements that people that's going to be featured on the Carson show. So, Jacoby, that used to be with Jalen and Jacoby, they had that ESPN show. He migrated to the Carson show, and everyone's saying that the ratings they're not great, but they're okay. All right. But everyone else is going up, even First Things First. And Undisputed is the only show on Fox Sports 1 ratings are tanking. Now, thirdly, when Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless formed Undisputed, they were never the ratings killer. They was never, everyone labeled them the First Take killers. This is going to be competition for First Take, and we all know competition is good. A lot of people say that, but it really wasn't a fair fight. It wasn't even really competition. First Take, well, they had their struggles. Stephen A. Smith with Max Kellerman, that didn't work out well. Skip, then they changed it to where Stephen A. Smith would debate different guests. That sort of worked. But the fact that First Take, kept, evolving how they was going to do things on that show, their ratings never tanked. And I always told you guys, ESPN is in more households than Fox Sports 1. That helps out a lot, okay? And, ESPN and First Take, they never dipped in the ratings, even when Shannon Sharpe was with Undisputed. And they was having issues with First Take with Shannon Sharpe, all right? Now, we also talked about how when we found out that Shannon Sharpe was going to migrate to the worldwide leader of sports, the Disney shows, I told you guys, if Shannon Sharpe wants to go to ESPN, there was a lot of things he's going to have to clean up and maneuver around. Okay, the Disney networks, they like to be family friendly. He can't use I'm not saying Shannon Sharpe curses a lot, but his language is going to have to be tapered some. I thought he was too. Sometimes he can be too abrasive. I thought he had to fix how he comes in. Sometimes he comes in fast and hot, pause with the discussions. I thought he had to curve that just a little bit. And the LeBron, where when he talks about LeBron and he clearly he's a fan of LeBron. I thought he had to taper that just slightly because he was going to get killed and crushed by the likes of Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith. The list goes on and on. It's just way too many basketball experts on ESPN than Fox Sports 1. And they can just tear apart Shannon Sharpe's view and opinion about LeBron James. Because at the end of the day, they're all opinions. Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. All right? So I thought it would be a tough task for Shannon Sharpe, but I thought eventually, talent and success was going to rise to the top, and that's what Shannon Sharpe has done. It just seems like everything Shannon Sharpe has touched has turned to gold. He has the Nightcap Show. I thought personally that wasn't going to work, but it's proven to be successful. He still has Club Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay. I told you guys, I speak in glorious details about Club Shay Shay and how that podcast is going to be the number one podcast if it's not already. Him doing First Take on Mondays and Tuesdays. You don't get to see him 5 days a week. I thought that was going to be very beneficial for Shannon Sharpe. And everything Shannon Sharpe, all the decisions Shannon Sharpe has made has turned into gold, for Shannon Sharpe. Meanwhile, Skip Bayless with First Take, he was talking about this new and improved First Take and how this First Take was going to be, this new and improved Undisputed and how this Undisputed is going to be better than when it was with him and Shannon. He didn't say it in those words, but he was kind of dancing around it. He added a lot of people on Undisputed. I felt like he overkilled it. I think he had way too many personalities because when the first show started, he had them all on set. And with so many of them, the set couldn't even fit all of them. And then Skip Bayless had to turn into a moderator, all right? They don't have a full-time moderator. Skip Bayless is the moderator. He says a thing or two, and he just let everyone just eat, okay? He lets Michael Irvin eat, all right? He lets Keyshawn Johnson eat, okay? I forgot his name momentarily. It's one of those, I don't keep up with him all the time. Richard Sherman. He lets Richard Sherman eat, all right? And then he also added some other females to the show. He added a comedian. He added Lil Wayne. I mean, he was sparing no expense. And it didn't help Undisputed ratings, all right? And I always was critical of that. I thought he just, was trying to do a lot of things at once, and he should have just slowly put these things together. Now, he was doing pretty decent, pretty solid. Now, I'm not going to say solid, but pretty decent with the football season. He had Michael Irvin, he had Richard Sherman, he had Keyshawn Johnson. Those are household names in the NFL circles. A casual NFL fan would know these names. And he did okay. Plus, he had Lil Wayne once a week. Some comedian by the name of Bubba. He was fantastic the first time he was Undisputed. Then the second time, it was just disastrous. I don't, it's social media, okay? You win some, you lose a lot, all right? So, even though with the changes and with new personalities coming in, coming out, he even had Paul Pierce. But he was pretty decent in the NFL season, but when it transitioned into it was pretty decent in the NFL season, but when he transitioned to the NBA, those personalities, the Keyshawns, the Richard Shermans, the Michael Irvins, they were not that knowledgeable or entertaining on the NBA. I thought personally Skip Bayless was going to bring some NBA personalities to debate on the show. And, he'll have his football team. He'll have his basketball team. I thought that would have been best for Undisputed. He had him trickling. He even had John Sally. And to me, when you talk about casual fans of the NBA, all they know about John Sally was he was in some movies. Okay. A lot of people are not detailed or don't even know who John Sally is. A lot of people don't even know John Sally played basketball. John Sally played with the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball. Sorry about my voice. Sorry about that. But, today's casual NBA fan don't even know who the hell is John Sally. They will have to go to Google to figure out who is John Sally. Okay. Out of all the NBA analysts, the up-and-coming ones, you chose John Sally. Obviously, this was a relationship hire. Pause. I'm not meaning it that way. Skip Bayless know who John Sally is. That's why he got the job, pretty much. Skip Bayless know who Paul Pierce is. That's why he was on Undisputed. Okay. But nevertheless, that didn't help the cause of Undisputed. And the ratings even suffered even more. Now, we can sit up here and talk about the stats. I can give you guys the stats week to week, month to month of how Undisputed fared with First Take. And it's not even no competition. Okay. ESPN's numbers are through the roof. They're gaining 5 times more of the audience since the announcement of Shannon Sharpe. Before, they was getting 3 times the audience. Now with Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee, a lot of people want to say it's all due to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has this huge following. Okay, it does have something to do with Shannon Sharpe, but it also has something to do with Pat McAfee. All right, let's call a spade a spade. Even though Pat McAfee had his ups and downs with the Aaron Rodgers thing, it didn't go too well but Pat McAfee still has a solid show. Not a lot of people are no longer watching Pat McAfee. Let's not get it twisted and confused. Okay, so ESPN is doing 5 times the viewership than Undisputed, and Undisputed is barely raking in over 100K viewers. Okay, and that's a problem. Now, I can talk about all that stuff, and I've seen a lot of people talk about that stuff, so instead of regurgitating that, let's talk about what Undisputed can do. If Undisputed wants to have a future on Fox Sports 1, if Fox Sports 1 wants to have a future in the sports entertainment field, here are several things that they can do. Okay? And bear in mind, Fox Sports 1 other shows are not taking a dip. Okay, they're not going south. They're not going down. They're pointing up. Okay, so just because Undisputed leaves the airwaves doesn't mean doom and gloom for Fox Sports 1. So here are several things I feel like Fox Sports 1 can do for Undisputed. And one thing I'm going to mention right off the bat, and I mentioned this even when they had Shannon Sharpe, I think they should move Undisputed from the time slot of First Take. Allow your boy to explain. I thought it was dumb and stupid to introduce a fresh new show with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. I thought they should have went on way earlier than ESPN. Now they're an hour early, but I felt like they should have been 2 hours early. Because those same people that love sports talk would have migrated to Fox Sports 1, and then when and Undisputed, and when Undisputed is in its closing phase, or when the episode is over, the show is over, then those same viewers are gonna go travel to First Take. That way, you're not going to lose a lot in viewership. You're not going to lose a lot in ratings. A large portion of that audience is going to see both shows in its full state. So I thought Undisputed should have went on even early. I think Undisputed should take over the Carson show, and the Carson show should just be dead on arrival when First Take starts. All right? It's your flagship show. Why isn't it the first show that starts off Fox Sports 1? A lot of people commenting, "Oh no, nobody don't want to watch sports that early." You'd be surprised. A lot of working people that work get up extremely early, and there's nothing to watch other than the Today Show, CNN, and things of that nature. I think Fox Sports 1 should be up around the same time when the Today Show and CBS News and ABC Good Morning America, they should be on that time. Okay? So that's the first thing that could help this new and improved Undisputed. The same advice I was giving it with when they had Shannon Sharpe is the same exact advice I give it without Shannon Sharpe. All right. The second thing that could instantly change the success of Undisputed, they need a personality over there. They need another Shannon Sharpe. Okay. I think the executives are kicking themselves, saying that, you know what, hindsight being 50-50, we should have just gave him the bag. We should have gave him some control with Undisputed, or give him full control on his own show for Fox Sports 1. We'll have to overspend to keep him here. All right? And Fox Sports 1 could have gotten another show, and who knows, would have been waving goodbye to the Carson show or waving goodbye to Speak. Okay? But Shannon Sharpe should have had his own show. If not, give him the bag, pay him more, and let him continue to stay on Undisputed. It was always a money issue. It was never a personality issue. It was never he hated Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless hated him. Were there times where they didn't get along? Yes. But that's in every walk of life. Okay? You're not going to get along with your co-workers 24/7, 365. There's going to be some days where you don't get along with your co-worker. All right? But if your co-worker continues to come in, grind, work just as hard as you, don't call out, you're going to appreciate that more so than y'all just don't have anything in common on the down times. All right? So Fox Sports 1 needs another Shannon Sharpe. I think Max Kellerman, first and foremost, I think Jalen Rose can fit that narrative because of the dynamic between him and Skip Bayless. They clearly do not get along. But at the same time, it's going to be very beneficial for Skip Bayless and Jalen Rose. All right? Jalen Rose isn't doing anything except being a content creator on social media. You know, he has his own YouTube channel, but it's not making the waves like, you know, everyone else is doing in sports entertainment. You know, he's not doing Shannon Sharpe numbers. He's not doing Stephen A. Smith numbers. He's not even doing Skip Bayless numbers on the Skip Bayless show on YouTube. And I feel like out of the three I just mentioned, Skip Bayless YouTube channel is not that great. Okay? So I think that would be very beneficial for Jalen Rose because he needs to be on primetime television. Well, you know, network television. I think Jalen Rose fits best on that proportion. And it helps. It extremely helps Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry, Skip Bayless. Okay, so having another that will fit well. They, you know, now professionally they don't respect one another. Personality-wise, they don't like one another, but that forms good television because you're going to have a lot of moments where they're going to be going back at each other. It's going to be personal between the two, all right? And they do have chemistry. I know a lot of people think they don't have chemistry, but they do have chemistry. They know one another. They know each other's strengths. They know each other's weaknesses. So there you have it. If you can't get Jalen Rose, the next person on that list is Max Kellerman. Now, I think the Jalen Rose ideal is better and more. It's better and it fits more narratives than Max Kellerman. I think Max Kellerman is another Skip Bayless. He just throws stuff on the wall, hoping for something to stick. So it won't be a traditional debate show because Max Kellerman's strengths are not debating. Max Kellerman's strengths are throwing out different perspectives, throwing out different ideas, not to argue or debate somebody, okay? And people, try to tear apart his opinions or tear apart his idealisms. All right. Maybe Skip Bayless can do that. Maybe if you still keep Keyshawn Johnson, he can be the middleman. He can dispute a lot of Max Kellerman's claims, but Max Kellerman's strength is not debating. Now, will this help them rating wise? Only time will tell. But as of right now, even if they added Max Kellerman, I don't think it's going to dethrone First Take. It's not going to dethrone First Take, even if they get Jalen Rose. But I do think they're going to get. I think they're going to be good with the ratings, good with the audience, good with the viewership, with either of those two hires. Even though I feel like Jalen Rose is a better fit and a better hire than Max Kellerman. All right. And I might put chapters in this video. Therefore, you guys could just go straight to the chapters. I may do that. May do that. I feel like another thing that would help Undisputed, they don't have to downsize who they have on set. First and foremost, they need a new set. That set, they didn't have that set when they first started. Now, I know they moved the table around, they moved some things around, but it's still the same old set. I think they need a totally revamped set, and I think they need to get back to a 2-man group, maybe 3. Okay? But having Richard Sherman, I like Michael Irvin. I really do. I feel like when football season starts, you can change Keyshawn from Michael Irvin, and you can change Michael Irvin for Keyshawn Johnson. But I don't think you should have both of them on set at the same damn time. All right? The Richard Sherman's experiment did not work. All right? So just cutting down what you already invested this year, particularly for next season, would be very beneficial for Undisputed. I just felt like it was just way too many people talking, which goes into my next thing of improvement. They need a full-time moderator. They need eye candy. Okay? Let's be 1,000% real about this. Okay? These debate shows gravitate to a male audience, correct? Let's look at the best debate show, First Take. They got Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people love and hate Stephen A. Smith, but they still watch it. Even the people that hate Stephen A. Smith still watch Stephen A. Smith on First Take. You got a huge love for Shannon Sharpe, particularly from social media. And people will just go anywhere Shannon Sharpe goes. All right? So you got those two. And an average male is probably not waking up every morning just to turn on First Take to just see what Shannon Sharpe's going to say, what Stephen A. Smith is going to say. So the younger male audience, they're probably looking at Molly. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't like Molly. A lot of you guys think that they should get a new moderator. A lot of you guys think Molly talks too much. A lot of you guys think that Molly's not knowledgeable. But Molly is fine. She looks good. Despite all the critics, y'all going to have to be realist here. Molly is eye candy. All right? And younger males who are thinking about women that they are attracted to, or women that are are sexualized. A lot of those males just they are entertained with the conversation, but they're also looking at Molly. Okay, there's a reason why the camera cuts to Molly even when Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith are debating or talking. Okay, that's why they want Molly to talk so she can get some camera time. Okay, so having a female moderator would do a lot for Undisputed. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, they should get a female that's established in the media, in the sports media business. I think you should get a woman that's that's in the sports entertainment business. The sports media business and the sports entertainment business is two cadences. Okay? It's just it is what it is. Okay? I know a lot of you guys don't I know a lot of you guys lie to yourself a lot, but a lot of guys will look at an attractive woman who has no knowledge about sports and respect that woman more so than a woman that's established, that's got media street cred. Yeah, I mean, it will be great if you can get a female with those qualifications, but they're few and far between. I think they need a younger female that's eye candy. And Skip Bayless is going to have to accept the fact that he's not going to be, his face is not going to be in the camera all the time. So having a female moderator would do Undisputed wonders. I think that pushes Skip Bayless into a debater, because Skip Bayless as a moderator is hurting Skip Bayless's business. Skip Bayless needs to be a moderator. A debater. His strength is debating. His strength is saying controversial things. Okay? He needs a moderator that's going to set up the topics, and he needs someone to debate the topics. And I think they have gotten away from this new Undisputed. Okay? So that piece of advice would help out several things with what's wrong with Undisputed right now. Someone told me in the comment section they should first things first, and Undisputed should switch up, meaning they should switch their time. That would help Undisputed, but it will kill First Things First. And speaking of First Things First, like, a lot of people thought that Nick Wright would be a great debate partner for Skip Bayless. But I feel like Nick Wright is too much like Skip Bayless, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, they need to get they need to get and find people that they need a personality. They need another Shannon Sharpe that's going to be on the show through football season, through basketball season, through baseball season, through college football, through college basketball. They need to quit talking about those other football leagues, the XFL, and I forgot the other football. I mean, it's great that these guys are having a space where they can still have a football career, but it's unwatchable. And I remember they were doing this when Shannon Sharpe was there, and Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless was trying to get people excited for the XFL, and I forgot that other league. But that was just dead time. No one knew these guys' names, and it just seemed like, to me, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe was just faking the funk. They wasn't really watching these games. All right, but they need a personality that's going to be there year round, and then you can sprinkle. They need Skip Bayless. They need that personality. Either it's Jalen Rose or Max Kellerman, or who. I feel like if you're not reaching for Jalen Rose, then I don't know who else you think you can get. Now, the talk of the town was maybe Charles Barkley would do it. But Charles Barkley, I've heard Charles Barkley say a lot of not so kind words about Skip Bayless. But they need to pull somebody from either another successful show from another network or someone that used to do network television. All right. That's why I'm thinking of Jalen Rose. I think Jalen Rose will be excellent for Undisputed. I think Max Kellerman is a solid hire for Undisputed. And then you can sprinkle in the NFL experts and the NBA experts. I still think Keyshawn and Michael Irvin, those are solid hires. Even Richard Sherman. I have no issue when football season starts. Those three guys should be in your rotation. However, when the basketball season starts, even though he pretty much destroyed his image, a Matt Barnes type of person when basketball season starts. I don't know. Maybe a Kendall Gill. I'm not a huge Kendall Gill fan. I'm not when he played basketball and when he does content on YouTube. I'm not a huge Kendall Gill fan. But man, did I say Kendall Gill? I meant oh my God, the no Gill chill. Oh my God, I forgot that dude's name. Gilbert Arenas. Man, what's going on with me? Gilbert Arenas. I think Gilbert Arenas will be good for basketball coverage for Undisputed. Maybe a year from now, Matt Barnes could all this negative publicity of Matt Barnes will probably go away. Maybe he can clean up his image. Matt Barnes could be an excellent hire for the NFL coverage for the NBA. Don't be surprised if JJ Redick. Now, JJ Redick, before the Doc Rivers comments, before that, JJ Redick was heavy in the rotation for NBA analysts. Okay, maybe and ever since they done hired Shannon Sharpe, and he always had to fight over camera time with Stephen A. Smith, and now you got Pat McAfee doing his thing, having his own show. Maybe JJ Redick thinks changing scenery maybe is very necessary. And Fox Sports 1 would overpay to get JJ Redick just to do basketball topics on Undisputed. They need somebody like that when the NBA season starts. Because really the only two seasons when it comes to sports anyone's concerned about is football and basketball season. Okay, so yeah. Those are some things I've been mentioning on this channel for years. All right. And I feel like with these changes, these are not subtle changes. All right. With those changes, that would help out Undisputed. But I'm pretty sure people are going to comment in the comment section and go through all the things I have mentioned. And, everyone has, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. Everyone's going to come with their opinion and say, well, this is not going to work because of opinion A, opinion B, opinion C. All right. But how it doesn't work unless you don't try. And I feel like if Undisputed wants a future, they need to accept these opinions and think about them and maybe put effort in these opinions. I'm pretty sure the powers that be in these at the Fox Sports 1 office, corporate office, I'm pretty sure somebody has mentioned, if not all, one of these ideas that I came up with. Okay? But you're going to have to salvage, because you just signed Skip Bayless to a big contract last year. Okay? And you want to, and you consider these contracts investments, right, Fox Sports 1? You don't want to ever see the day where, well, we'll just deal with his contract, and when the contract's up, we're just going to either renegotiate him to a smaller contract or just not renegotiate him and let him just go on as a free agent. But who you going to get? A lot of people don't like Skip Bayless, and I get it. Skip Bayless says a lot of dumb stuff. And a lot of people don't like Colin Cowherd, but think about this, folks. If Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd just left Fox Sports 1, you think Fox Sports 1 would still be the talk of the town? You still think people won't be will still talk about Fox Sports 1 in barbershop discussions, in podcasts, in the media, social media? You think people would still be talking about Fox Sports 1? No. People stop talking about Colin Cowherd. Okay? Colin Cowherd doesn't have a lot of motion out here. He's been playing it safe. He hasn't said anything controversial. He was one of those controversial guys that would just say something controversial just to be mentioned on social media or be mentioned on the sports news timeline. But Colin Cowherd has stepped away from that because Colin Cowherd has a lot to lose if he continues that route. Colin Cowherd has his own network, The Volume, and Colin Cowherd owns a percentage of that. He may own all of that. He's got other content creators that's on that network. He even has Shannon Sharpe's club, Shay Shay. Okay, so Colin Cowherd has a lot to. Colin Cowherd is transitioning from a debater to first a radio personality to television personality. Now he's a media personality that's transitioning into ownership, similar to what Charlemagne the God is doing. All right. So Colin Cowherd can't afford to just, be controversial. There's no need for him to be controversial. Okay. He has a lot to lose. Okay. So, people like Skip Bayless, he's good at debating. He's good at, talking. He's good at arguing with other people. And he's not transitioning from one port to another port. And the same thing goes for Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith recently started doing YouTube. His first attempt was No Mercy. Off of the theme song of Undisputed. He had a crew that was doing that, and it wasn't doing the numbers that he wanted to do. So he got rid of that crew and he changed it to the Stephen A. Smith show, and he hasn't looked back since. Now he uploads like 5-6 times a day. And off the Undisputed topic for just a few minutes. I mean, he's talking about he wants ESPN to re-sign him, and he wants to be the highest paid personality on ESPN. I think when the smoke settles, even though Pat McAfee got it, but when the smoke settles, I think ESPN wants Shannon Sharpe long term. Either he could be the new host of First Take, or he has his own show. Because Shannon Sharpe has already proven to the powers that be and to the networks that, he doesn't need a Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith to draw these numbers. I mean, he can do it on his own. He's a superstar. Okay. So yeah. So that's what First Take should think about doing. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. If this video is extremely long, I'm probably only going to do one video this week, and I'll holler at you guys next week. Thank you for the people that listen to this video from start to finish. I really do appreciate that. That helps me out with this, particularly with this YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everyone that has subscribed, those who have commented, those who have donated. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Without you guys, there would be no me. So, guys, I will see you when I can see you. All right. If something breaks this week, I'll cover it. Okay. If not, just one video this week, and we'll try this again next week. I'm out of here. Deuces.